Hello.
Good.
Linda is joining also, but she's down in the executive office.
Yeah, well, you get the crappy one. It's
I
understandable.
know, I got the cubicle.
Understood. Amy, how are you in New York City?
The cubicle
Everything
in
is
the
very
guest room.
quiet, very clean, and very, very strange. So thank you for asking. How's everybody else?
Very similar to what you're saying, Amy. At least us here in Pennsylvania are.
We'll get through it.
Absolutely.
We'll lead the way.
Yeah, it seems like you guys in New Jersey seem to be leading the way a little bit.
I mean, trusted advisors will lead the way.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah,
We've got some good ideas for that already. So
yeah, fundamentally what we do just by osmosis is what everybody else will need. Yeah.
sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, I'm going to mute, but look
Sounds
forward
good.
to it. Take care.
Jenna, can you jump in and email David Radlow how to get into the town hall, please? Or text him somebody. I need you. Thank you. Morning, Arnie. Or afternoon, pardon me.
Hi. Hi, Gerard.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Want to just acknowledge that I was here.
Yes, sir. I see you. I hear you.
This is my fifth one today. This is amazing.
Yes, it's pretty cool technology.
No, not just that. I am amazed at how much change has
It
happened.
is,
in such
but
a
that's
short time.
sometimes change can be for a good thing in the long run.
We will survive this and come out different and better.
I agree. I was talking to
The
Mike
rest,
Myers.
some of us also will die.
Let's not focus on that part, Arnie.
I'm not going to focus. It ain't going to be me. I feel bad for others that will. But other than that, we will. And some people will lose their jobs and be very unhappy. But somebody called me earlier and wanted me to wallow with him and how he thinks terrible, and he got very frustrated because I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, thank
Okay.
you. Hey, Steve, how are you? Bob,
I'm great, Gerard. Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you as well.
Yes.
Hey, Linda. Good afternoon, Virginia.
Hello.
For what it's worth, until yesterday afternoon, I didn't know this was on the calendar. So there may have been other people that didn't get this also.
Yeah,
If there's 50 people on it, I guess I just missed it.
we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. There's going to be a lot of new stuff on the calendar coming up, and the numbers I can tell from here are starting to jump up with the number of people where those
okay.
last minute folks jumping in just at the last nick of time before we start. So thank you to Jenna or Wendy, whoever got Mr. Radlow the information. Good morning. Good afternoon, Mr. Radlow.
Hey, thanks, Gerard. We call joining on time.
Hey, on to 10 minutes early is still 5 minutes late, Brad. So let's work on that for next time.
Hey, I'm retired Air Force. A tea time's a tea time.
Certainly is.
Elliot, how are you? Mark, Brian, welcome.
I am good.
You look good, buddy.
Yeah, I just don't know how to get my name up there instead of a number.
You're all right. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Call me later. I'll tell you how to do it.
Elliot, you can't charge him for it, though.
I won't charge you for it.
Hey, Tracy, how are you?
Hey, Gerard, I'm good.
All right. We are getting to be 3:01. I'm going to give it another minute, but we've got, it looks like a couple of dozen people on the call already, and I have a feeling that we may even get a couple bit more. One, as you can tell, we are recording this because, as Arnie said, not everybody knows about it. We've been trying to step up communication a little bit more common or a little bit more frequently, but doesn't always work quite so well. And with the number of people that we have on here, it would be helpful for us if you guys don't mind muting yourself. If we got to be the mute police, we will, but it's really kind of frustrating. We want you guys to mute yourself, but then unmute yourself when necessary, especially towards the end of this thing when it's going to become a little bit more of an open discussion. I've got 3:02, and since Brad Carney says we should start on time, and I'm already 2 minutes late according to that, we'll start, and everybody else can jump in as they go. So I guess officially, good afternoon. Welcome to Trusted Advisors' first virtual town hall. We thought the most important thing to start with was just a really quick health update and let you know that as of moments ago, all of your cohorts, all of the network, the entire home office, all are healthy, safe, and sound. So there's no negativity to report on that side, which is we thought was important just to make sure you guys knew that, because I know you guys are concerned about each other quite a bit. So that's the first piece of really good news. The home office is open. Obviously, as you can tell, Wendy, Tammy, we're not actually in the home office. Legally, by the state of Pennsylvania, or the governor of Pennsylvania, we are not allowed to go to our office. So the one impact that does have is on the ability for us to send out things from our warehouse. One thing that does not have an impact on is our ability to still deliver the materials to participants via an LMS system. So still can provide all the support that you need in your marketing efforts and your facilitation efforts, whatever it may be, and also can still provide you with the materials and the tools that you may need just right now via LMS. If you are working with any clients in a group setting now that have a book and you've turned into a virtual facilitation, and it would be easier for them to go LMS while they're working remotely, please let Jenna know. And we at no charge will give you guys an LMS for any material that you've ordered in the past for someone that you're working with currently. We'll be more than happy to set up an LMS system for them. The only downside to that is that they're going to have their information in their hard copy is not going to transfer over into the electronic. They'd have to redo that themselves if they wanted. But if we can help by providing an LMS system, we'd be more than happy to do so. We've been talking about creating this town hall for, I guess, virtually for about 2 weeks now, a week and a half or so. And it was really challenging for us, quite frankly, to figure out how we wanted to do it. All of us are pretty much extroverted and like to be up and interacting and interchanging. But two, we're in the middle of something that we've never experienced before. Is it something that we'll survive and we'll thrive through? Absolutely, but it's a little bit different. So as I was talking with, and actually it's been several of you over the last week and a half, we're creating a new normal right now. And that's the world as a whole. And that's us as a network, that's us as a home office. And so what we're going to do today, this afternoon, is we're going to combine a little bit of the old normal format and add to it a little bit of what may be the new normal format and create today's format for you. So I'd like to give you an overview of what we're going to cover. The first thing that we're going to do is update you on current or past, current, and future projects and programs that we're working on. 2, we're going to go over the expansion of our Learning Lab program that we're working on right now, obviously all now virtual. 3, I'd like to go over with you a new chat or affiliate communication device amongst you guys as a network. 4, talk about new mini programs and mini facilitation models that may be effective for you going forward. And finally, we'd like to go into an open discussion format, which this is definitely something new that we haven't done before. but in terms of ways that you guys can help each other going over that. So we've got 55 minutes, a lot of stuff to cover. So we're going to sort of start to just plug on through. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in.
Gerard,
Yes.
I was wondering, I would like to see everybody if possible, and I don't think you can do that when you share your screen.
Unfortunately, we're going to need to share my screen at this point.
Okay.
Because there is some slides that go along with the PowerPoint. If you do go to manage participants, you can start to cycle through and see different, you should be able to see different grid patterns on your video.
Eva, you can do the gallery view
You can do it.
and then spread it across your entire screen. You can see
Correct.
on the screen.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. If you click on gallery, where you can just see grid or show grid view, where you'll be able to see all the different pictures there. But there are some things in the town hall that you'll want to see in terms of the PowerPoint as well. So the first thing in terms of update on what's going on, Trusted Advisors is still operating fully, both in our support of our network as well as in our recruitment of new affiliates. We continue to bring in new.
Gerard, excuse me, are you advancing slides? Because
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We are adding new affiliates as well as supporting the existing ones. We've brought in 3 new members of the network in 2020 already this year. Have several other potentials in the pipeline. We'll be holding agility training virtually in April. So once again, continuing status there. As we've talked through with affiliates, one of the things that we've seen is all this virtual work. And so one of the other things that Trusted Advisors wanted to offer out to the network is the dialogue process is an organizational assessment tool that many of you know. And the dialogue tool can be done virtually, both in collection of data as well as in interpretation. So for the next 30 days, Trusted Advisors is doing dialogue for any affiliate, for any client, doesn't matter size, shape, size, industry, et cetera, and there's no cost to that. So if you have any organizations out there that are currently saying, we're working remotely, but we still need to get a better picture of where we are as an organization so that when we come out of this new normal, we can start to create the right approach. Know that anytime in the next 30 days, any dialogue process for any organization that you'd like to work with is no charge. Given what may happen, we'll reserve the right to extend that deadline. So it may go longer than 30 days, but it will definitely go no shorter than 30 days. So first piece that I want to get into next, or next piece I want to get into, is the update of what's been going on in Project World. So the first one there is the leadership program. Okay. Our leadership program, we made a commitment in the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, that in 2020, we would unveil a new leadership program. That process is still in full effect. It is still on schedule. And in October of this year at Power Summit, we plan to unveil a final version of that. In July of this year at Power Summit, we hopefully will unveil a first beta or prototype of that tool. Tammy is key on that, or point on that project, and she is currently working with a small task force, but is also open to adding additional people.
Wait a minute.
to that
Hold
task
on a
force.
minute.
So if you're interested in helping at all with the leadership rework, please feel free to reach out directly to Tammy. Okay. Another project that Trusted Advisors made a commitment for 2020, pardon me, was to create a standalone chapter on diversity. That beta has been completed. Our first version of that, a soft unveil, is currently now available. The working title right now is Diversity and Inclusion. That process was created with a small task force of members of both the Trusted Advisors Network, as well as outside people or outside experts in the field. That process or that chapter has been created and is available to view. If you are someone that would like to potentially offer some insight, revisions, whatever it may be, new ideas into the final tool that will come out in July of this year, please reach out to Jenna at our office. Via email is fine. And you can email Jenna and say, hey, I'd like to review that. I might have some input into that, like to confirm what you have going, et cetera. She will then email you directly how to access that tool. Inside of reviewing that chapter, you'll be able to give us feedback. There will be 2 different ways to feedback. One, there's a feedback form that you'll be able to type in notes and things along those lines. Or second, call or email Tammy at the office, or on her cell phone, actually I should say, and give her any feedback, as she is point on that project as well. Okay, so if interested in feedback on either one of those two pieces, please let us know. Finalized tool that we've got coming out right now, this was going to be unveiled when you were here in person, but we'll unveil it virtually, is the sales seminar process. This is a revitalization to the existing sales seminars, very similar to what we did in 2019 with leadership seminars. Sales seminars is a series of 3 sales seminars, each one of them designed to be approximately 2 hours in length. And you'll see here the 3 different topics of these seminars. The first one is improving and managing the customer funnel. And really what that process talks about is prospecting to target market. So defining what your target market may be, and then figuring out the most effective ways to prospect to that market. The second topic or title for the second seminar is increasing your sales through networking. And that is just like it sounds. It is purely all about networking techniques, fundamentals, etc. The third seminar in the series is called Selling Victoriously. And the easiest way to simplify that for you is that is a tool about the buying, selling process and walking them through each one of the steps. The sales seminars, just like the one that we released in 2019 on leadership, this one for sales will include all the necessary scripts, all the necessary PowerPoints. It'll include flyers that are necessary, marketing flyers, participant workbooks, etc. The cost for the sales seminar update is $495. However, we are doing a Trusted Advisors virtual Towne Hall / Power Summit special where you can get that sales seminar for $95. So we've decided to discount that pretty heavily so that you guys, once again, can be out there marketing and doing things to generate additional business without breaking your bank. So if you're interested in that tool, please reach out to Wendy. She'll be able to get you all set up with the electronic version of that. It'll be loaded right onto your affiliate website tools. You can get invoiced and everything else. So running that special right now for $95 for the sales seminars. The final project or update that I wanted to talk about was fail-safe leadership. We have had a couple of affiliates approach us about the idea that I want to write a book to increase my credibility and those types of things. However, I don't know if I necessarily want to spend the time or the effort or the resources to write a book. And so what we came up with was some ideas or approaches that you could actually co-brand with Trusted Advisors, the fail-safe leadership process. On your screen here, I can't necessarily see all of mine, but it should give you a sense on the right-hand side. You should see something that's driven-based leadership, I believe it's called. It's one of our affiliates, John Bohm, decided that he wanted to align with us to help him co-brand the fail-safe leadership program. And there's 2 different ways that you could do it. One would be a full co-branding like you see here, where we've looked at actually changing the title of it slightly. We've added his name. We've changed the cover art to the program, etc. That is one option that we can do. Inside of John's book, you'll actually see a customized About Us section. You'll also see a customized bookmark, which you won't, if you look in his book, we've customized the bookmark so that the fail-safe quiz is actually hosted on his site. Okay. And then also links inside the book have been removed so that it doesn't go directly back to Trusted Advisors. That is one version of the customization. There's a little lesser of a version of customization we also started to offer for our affiliates. And I don't have pictures of Brad's stuff with me electronically, but Brad Carney is an example of this. What we did for Brad was under this option 1 piece, and that was we created a custom bookmark with his company name, his personal information, his personal cell phone numbers, etc. We created a customized label that was actually inserted into the inside cover of the book. We also created a customized exam page on his website. So his was cbk3consulting.com/failsafe. You'll see here what we've done in terms of pricing options. For option 1, there's an upfront setup fee of $425. Then from that point on, there's no additional cost to your Failsafe Leadership orders per book. If you order one copy of the Failsafe Leadership book for now until the time that you're no longer an affiliate, it will come with the customized bookmark, the customized label for your book. In options 2, there are 2 different pieces here. That's just the quantity of books that you may order. Option 2 includes either 50 or 125 copies of your new created customized book. And here you'll see the list of the different tools or the different pieces of how we customize them. A customized bookmark, a customized cover. Once again, a small, slight name change. You will still be branded with affiliate with Resource Associates or something along those terminology. We cannot give up full copywriting law rules to it, but it's able to put an affiliation with, like you can see on John Boehm's here. It says John Boehm of Driven Coaching in association with Trusted Advisors Network. We'll add a customized About Us page, up to 250 words. Will allow you to change or update if you'd like to, put in a personalized testimonial on the back cover, and we'll create a customized exam page on your website. You can do this in 2 blocks. The block of 50, where you get 50 copies of the book, is $1,250. The second block is 125 books, and the cost will be $1,650. There may be, if you have an extremely old website that's not on Joomla or WordPress, there may be some additional charges. I don't know if that's going to apply to anybody, but we wanted to put it out there. If you have a very old website or a very customized, weirdly designed website by some other company that's outside of normal scope, there may be something there, additional charges, but like we said, we don't think that'll be the case. The second option for the 50 books or the 125 books, that includes all of your shipping charges. As we ship things to you, once they've been created, they'll be shipped, drop shipped, ground right to your home office. In addition to the upfront expenses to this, there is an ongoing subscription for your web page and things along those lines, and the ability to have the quiz hosted there. So that's a $20 per month additional piece. Okay. A couple of different ways to customize Failsafe. Once again, depending on what you're looking for, the image that you're looking to do, and the time that you're looking to commit, it may be something that makes sense for you to be able to put that as your credibility piece, for you to be able to use as a handout at your speeches. And even in times like today, can be a very good, effective marketing tool to send out to the network, or to your network, pardon me. Okay. If you have any questions on this, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to walk you through it. If there's any technical questions, we'll probably need to bring Jenna in, because everybody knows Gerard's technical level of ability is not all that high, but the program itself and how the process works, I've got down pretty well. Okay. So what I'd like to do now, if I may, is turn you over to Wendy, and Wendy's going to start to talk to you a little bit about the next topic on the list of what's coming up in terms of what Trusted Advisors is doing via our virtual learning labs.
Thanks, Gerard. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, we do believe the importance of having some positivity in our lives on a regular basis. We have enough negativity coming at us from pretty much every different angle you can think of. So what we've done is we've created a series of learning labs. As you can see, I have the schedule listed here. On March 26th, Rick Holster's going to share change, dealing with uncertainty. On March 31st, we are going to have Brian Arzani from Intermetrics give us some insights on virtual debriefing of the assessments. We're doing emotional intelligence on April 1st. On April 6th, Tammy's going to talk about volume orders and group debriefs. On the 8th, we're going to do another breaking down the advanced insights. On the 14th, strategic thinking, helping organizations create a new normal. On the 16th, we're going to do helping you and your clients work from home. This is a new concept for a lot of folks, maybe not affiliates, but some of your clients, organizations are now having to do things totally different. So this would actually be beneficial for both you as well as your clients. Building a referral-based business with Jeff Johnston on the 20th, and on the 22nd, creating a recurring revenue stream utilizing the Intermetrics assessments. Although we have different dates for these, all of these learning labs will be held from 3 to 4 Eastern time. It is always the same call-in information, Conveniently enough, they are posted on the affiliate website, on the calendar page, as well as under the upcoming Learning Lab page. If you have any ideas, anything you want to talk about, present, and you'd be willing to share with the network, I ask that you email me so we can continue to add these, for as long as a lot of the country is inbound. We're going to keep the positivity coming from our network so that you can then take that information out and share it with your clients, even if that is done on a remote basis. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jenna.
Okay, so as Gerard mentioned a little bit earlier, we're going to introduce a new communication for the affiliate network. We're going to use Slack. We think that it's going to be really beneficial for everyone to be able to communicate easily between one another. It's free to use. It has online platform and a mobile platform. It's basically like a chat room or like texting with people. There's different channels that we're going to utilize for different topics. If you have questions, it'll be really easy to post and for the network to be notified so that they can respond quickly to your questions or post new ideas. This will also be another way for us to communicate with you as a network, and it'll be one central place for that. We're going to be getting rid of the LinkedIn and Facebook groups. We think this is going to be a more central, easier access for everybody. So following this, I'm going to send out an email to everybody with an invitation to join our Slack channel. And if you have any questions, just email me or put in the chat there if you have any questions on how to use it, and I will do my best to help you all. And I believe Tammy is next.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Good to see everybody's shiny, smiling faces. So couple of the other things that we've been working on at Trusted Advisors is what can we do to help you have more arsenal in your tool bag to be working with your particular clients or potential clients. So we're coming out with a new concept. You can call it a seminar, you can call it a workshop, but we were talking about this the other day. Could we take some of the existing material and create pretty quickly a format for a workshop or seminar that you could offer, whether for fee or not for fee, to your clients based upon some of the tumultuous stuff that we're dealing with. And we thought that was a pretty cool idea. And I'm working on one currently. The working title is Leading Through Challenging Times. And what I've done is kind of taken, I have taken 3 chapters out of the executive leadership process: collaborating for results, leadership communications, and turning goals into sustainable success. And as I read the content just the other day, this week, and I read it from the sense of what we're all experiencing right now throughout the entire country, I know I'm prejudiced, but it was pretty darn impressive how the content linked to the mentality of what people are dealing with right now. So we thought it would be a really neat exercise to put together a new workshop that would be facilitated virtually so that you could offer it to your client and say, if you have a couple of teams or a senior leadership team that wants to have a conversation about managing through challenging times, and I picked challenging on purpose because there have been challenging times before, there's going to be new challenges in the future, and really have a conversation about what it takes to, in these challenging times, collaborate, not just put our head down in fear, and really collaborate on how we're going to manage through this as an organization or a client. Leadership communications. Is the leadership team in your client organization really communicating in an appropriate fashion that engenders trust and gets people to feel calm, not necessarily fearful? And turning goals into sustained success. It's the second part of the goal setting chapters that talks about how to use and how to create a why smart goal. And there's actually a chapter in there that, quite frankly, I forgot about, that talks about how to use goal setting when you're dealing with a fearful situation. And there's a lot of that going on right now. So we're in the process of creating a facilitators guide with a proposed agenda. It's going to be a suggested 3-hour with an optional hour, and put together some facilitation techniques and discussion questions so that literally we can share it or give it to you guys to be able to offer that, so that you don't have to do very much of the work except be the hero and facilitate the conversation. So the first one is on those 3 areas and goal setting. And what we plan on packaging, our thought process is give you the facilitation and make the chapters available through the LMS and the goal setting. We don't know what that pricing is going to be yet, but we thought that it would be a really cool way for you to have something that you could work with your potential clients and say, I feel your pain. Let's figure out how to be proactive and get through this. So next week on April 3rd, we're going to do a quick 30-minute virtual webinar Zoom event to walk through the first one, that is managing or leading through challenging times. The second one will be unveiled on April 10th, same format, and then the third one on April 17th. So I got some work cut out for me, but that's okay. So that's kind of an overview of the first one. The second one that I believe you'll be seeing on April 10th will be a combination of culture, emotional intelligence, and the advanced insights. So again, bringing something together that's very meaningful and very usable from a skills perspective to help your clients get through some of these things and allow you to position yourself as a very valuable resource, and that we can get through this together and I've got your back, potential client or client. So leading through challenging times, we're going to talk about April 3rd. Then the second one will be April 10th, and the third one will be April 17th.
Tammy, are these meant to be standalones, or are they in a series of 3?
They can be they can be either or. You can use them as a standalone, or you can use them as a series of 3. I'm building in some options, in the facilitation as well. The base is going to be 3 hours with an additional hour if your client has time, if they don't bulk at a 4-hour, to do a goal setting session as well. So, and you can pull pieces and parts out. It's going to be very similar to a lot of our other facilitation stuff. You can say, I want to use this section and I don't want to use that section. So it should be moldable to any way that you want to use it.
And these will be purposely stated to be Zoom processes.
Yep, I'm building in some instructions, like for example, in the first session or at the beginning of the session with your group, volunteer a scribe so that they can be having a doc up on, sharing their screen, and they're capturing all the ideas. So I'm building in some of those, suggestions as well. Again, you guys are all really good facilitators. Use what you will, modify what you will, and they are definitely virtual. All right. So the last part, as Gerard mentioned in our town hall, is we've got a really strong community in our network. And as Wendy mentioned, we want to be very proactive to give you guys opportunities to learn, because we should all be sitting at the Crown Plaza right now. Keep it positive, but also learn from each other. So we wanted to use the last half of the town hall as a way to share ideas. Are there things that you have done since you were told to stay home in your particular area that you've done with clients that is new, that's unique, that's worked? Have you used a virtual technology like Zoom in any other fashion that you could share ideas? So we really wanted to give the 34 folks that are on this call, besides the 3 of us, an opportunity to ask questions, to share thoughts, or you know what, here's an idea that I never would have thought of, but it really, really worked really well.
In addition to that, also, if there's ideas that you have that you'd like to see covered in more detail in upcoming events or things along those lines, be also a good opportunity to discuss those also.
Anybody have any thoughts?
Speaking, I'll talk first. Some of what I'm doing now, Tammy, is on Friday, I'm going to do my first facilitation. I'm doing a strategic plan with a local United Way. And we had scheduled a face-to-face meeting, and we prefer to do that, but we can't right now. So last week was for everyone, gee, what are we going to do in tracking the news? So this week, this is my first facilitation. We're going to use GoToMeeting in that one because they have their own process. But I've used GoToMeeting, WebEx, Zoom, all kinds, everything except Skype, I think, in the past week or two. I think in COVID-19 speak, it's going to be the new normal. After we get through this, I think we'll probably do more teleconferencing facilitations. So I'm going to use it for that. And also, as I told Gerard, I nicely asked one of my people, I said, you're paying your folks. If you're paying them, why don't we this is a perfect time to do some inside sales training. So for the first time, it's not the time to be asking for meetings, but I thought it was the right time to ask for another facilitation because as I asked Gerard, he said, yeah, we can do that. We can do that tailoring on LMS for you. So those are a couple of the things that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to try to sell more, but you just have to sense the right time to do that.
Excellent thought.
I want to follow up on what Tom said. I think that this is a real time for professional development. So we should be thinking about the conversations that we're having with our current clients and then also our prospects about what it is that we should be doing right now to be ramping up for their organizations. I've already been working with a number of clients virtually. I mostly use the telephone just because that has worked, but I've used Zoom as well. One of the things that I wanted to share about some of your preps with that, I've done 2 ways of that I email the preps to my clients or I share it in Dropbox so that they have all the documents there. And one of the things that I really like about that is as I'm creating what I call my working copy that has my preps, each time I'm facilitating, I have my prep open already ready for the next session. So I have my content there of what we're talking about now, and then my content is there for the prep for the next session. I'm taking my notes while I'm having the conversation with them. So basically, 5 minutes after I finish with them, I'm ready to send that prep for that next session to them with all the supporting documents that they need, and we're good to go.
Awesome, thank you.
Tammy, this is Elliot. One of the things that I've been doing working with a couple of clients is we've gone back and taken a deeper dive into their financial information that they get up-to-date balance sheets and P&Ls from their accountant, and we go through them and I question everything that they're spending money on and have them go back and do some renegotiations on some of their agreements that haven't been touched sometimes in 3 or 4 years or longer, just to help them tighten their belt a little bit. They've discovered, and I've discovered one company hasn't raised his prices in over 5 years. And while this may not be the best time, it's certainly something he needs to put on his plans moving forward, that there should be a time to at least start reviewing prices on a regular basis. I also discovered in 2008, I believe it is, I've got a copy of it here, I can put in the chat box if everybody wants it. There was a blog posting, I think it was on Harvard Business Review, on during a recession or a time of kind of disaster, that it's not the time to stop marketing, it's the time to start marketing and to increase your marketing efforts, not to kill your marketing budget, which is what the normal thought process is for a lot of companies. They says, well, nobody's interested, I shouldn't be doing it. So it was a very interesting article, and I think Forbes wrote an article about 4 or 5 years ago too, and I haven't found it yet, but it's certainly the time to start pushing forward on taking this downtime for some people to make improvements in their processes.
Can I add something to that? When I got on a call with one of my clients last week, then he was kind of like coming to the table, and we're on video, so I can see him going, and you know, I'm really distracted, and I'm all this, and I'm all this. And so I listened to and understood the where he was, and then talked about what it was that we had to do to move forward. And we ended up having a really great session during that time, which kept us from two things: of him stopping what it was that he was doing, and also for him to put me on pause, which would change, of course, what it was that we were doing in our scope of work. So I think we have a real opportunity to keep people engaged, and also to not necessarily lose opportunities with our clients that either we're supposed to be starting sometime now, or if we're in the middle of them, that they would say, sorry, I have to put this on pause and we'll have to pick up later.
Thank you. Other thoughts?
I just wanted to piggyback on something that Lisa said. One of the things I'm going to be doing with a client on Friday afternoon is something that was originally scheduled for yesterday, but because of what was going on within the city of New York, it had to be moved. This was a client that was going to be doing something within the city of New York. And so we're changing the format a little bit for Friday afternoon. And instead of doing our normal 2.5-hour session, all we're going to do is have a half an hour or 45-minute call. And I said to them, I said, look, I'm not charging you for this one, because they were concerned with, like, well, do we really want to break the momentum of the program? And well, maybe we ought to hold off until we can really get serious about the subject matter. And I said, let's just have a conversation for a half an hour on Friday. Let me kind of get caught up with you. You get caught up with me. And my main goal in saying that is, let's make sure that we're not taking stupid pills in terms of making sure we're keeping the relationships going. And I would say on this one, my friendly piece of advice is, it's probably more important to lead with your heart than your wallet, you know, at this point. I think people have enough things on their mind, and if they're worried about, oh, this guy is trying to do a scheduled time, you know, so that he can pay his mortgage, I got a feeling that's gonna, yeah, we may win in the short term, but I'm not so sure that we're gonna win in the long term. I think if we really demonstrate, you know what, I know we have a client relationship, but I actually care about you and your business, and not just for the check that you're writing me. I think that'll go a long, long way in terms of helping things way after this health crisis is behind us.
I want to second what Doug just said, that this week I've been going out to clients and either switching meetings from in person or on the phone to Zoom, and offering meetings at my pleasure. And that's, Doug, you couldn't have been more on target. And I was hesitant to give that message, but this is the time, as Trusted Advisors is taking a $450 seminar and offering it for $99. I'm saying this is the time to reach out to clients, and even if it does mean, as tough as it is, giving things away, offering to be there for them. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you to both, because I think you're both absolutely spot on. People need to know, and I think what we do is, and that approach will provide a positive distraction that will be quite memorable after some of this stuff goes away and dies down. They're going to remember the people who reached out to them in that capacity, with heart before wallet. Other thoughts or ideas?
This is Steve.
Hey, Steve.
So I'm part of a number of different groups. One group, we've been using Zoom. So we've scheduled Friday afternoon happy hours. And so we do that as part of kind of an ongoing way to gather together and stay and have community. I think working in isolation, sheltering in place, one can become very isolating. And so that was one way in which one group that I have is trying to create a social kind of gathering that where we can share things that are happening in the week. My practicum, and Nancy was part of this. Nancy Taylor was part of this. There were 4 of us, and we actually shared, as part of our last session, ways in which we might strategize about how to approach small businesses that are that are dealing with this challenge right now. And we came up with some great ideas. I think one of the issues that we confronted was using the situation and not seeming like we were trying to kind of take advantage of the situation, but truly approach it. And many of you said it on this call, is truly with the idea that we're trying to bring something of value and benefit to our clients that are trying to work through this challenge. So that was just another way in which the things that I've been working with the groups and communities that I participate, and using Zoom has been very effective in bringing us all together around this.
Thank you for sharing.
Hi, this is Nancy. First of all, thanks, Steve, for sharing with the group what we talked about last week. But along the same line of what Doug and Arnie are saying, I had a similar interaction with one of my clients just about an hour ago, asking him how he may adapt this strategy in his business, encouraging him to think about the kind of questions he may want to ask his clients to help them recognize he really cares. And his response to that is, he was so appreciative because he said, "You're really helping me feel good about this." So it's something that we can also encourage our clients to use as well.
Great thought, Nancy. Other ideas or thoughts?
Hey, Tammy, this is Brad. I want to jump all the way back to the fail-safe books real quickly, since Gerard mentioned me. I remember him explaining that the stickers would be of high quality, and I want to just tell you I was very impressed with the quality of the stickers to throw in those books, and I really very much liked it, and I think you're all on the right track with both options. I have used Zoom a lot, so I'm very comfortable with facilitating, and I made a conscious decision about 6 months ago to do more virtual sessions. So, and it seems like Zoom's been getting a lot more attention than some of the others, but there's a whole bunch out there. I have one client who uses Microsoft Teams, which is a little more complex to get started because you have to be invited to their team, but it kind of combines the video chat capability with the normal chat capability with the ability to post files and then point to the files in chat. So that's just another option I've seen out there. For me, as far as trying to give back to clients and the community, I hosted a couple of webinars and had my top 7 steps, which grew to 11, which is really about up to 20 now of things that leaders can do to manage through challenging times, uncertain times is the phrase I use that. While my webinar didn't necessarily gather a whole lot of people, it gathered a few people new and a few people old. I've been able to use that transcript, if you will, to engage all my current clients, some of my past clients, some of the people I've just been keeping relationships with to, as been stated, keep that positive lead from the heart. And the response has been either, "Oh man, that makes me feel good. I think we're doing all the right things." But even the people that say that say, "But you made me really think about this, this, and this." And so if anyone wants a copy of what I've already created, be glad to share it out if you haven't seen it already.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
I've got one happy story that's literally happening as we speak. On the New York City news, there was a college in Long Island that had 3D printing capability. And so they decided to put their brain trust in place and start creating face shields for emergency and first responders in Long Island. And I think currently they're making somewhere between 20 and 50 a day, and their goal is to ultimately be able to make 100 a day. Well, I remember as part of a strategic planning discussion that I've got with a client in the upper Midwest that they've got a 3D printer. So this morning when I was on a coaching call with the president of the organization, I said, are you aware with what other people are doing with 3D printing capability? And literally he said, I really like that idea. I'm talking to my director of engineering because we've got a crackerjack guy who's in charge of our 3D printing capability. And literally today, as we speak, they're creating their first 3D printer face shield so that they can give it to people up in the upper Midwest. So, you know, sometimes you hear, I've always been a big believer of you hear a nugget. Can you think about who do we know that can take that nugget and run with it? I'm a big believer that you throw a rock in the middle of the pond. We have no idea where those ripples are going to go. So I'm encouraging you to think about all the clients that you've had over the course of the years. Who could you share an idea like that? Or whether it's people that are currently, Amy's got a good friend of hers that are busy sewing masks, you know, for first responders and ER people because they have the capability, they've got some fabric. And so on. You know, I think we can be a force for good, even by talking with people and saying, "Hey, you've got this capability, don't you? Yeah. How have you thought about taking that and you know and putting it into practice?" So I just wanted to kind of share that happy story as we spoke.
Great story. Thank you.
Can I piggyback on that real quick? The version of that I have it's not quite, maybe not quite as life-changing, but still a good example of something that we that I think we can all do. All of us are probably pretty good networkers. We probably know a lot of people. The opportunity I had today was I was talking to a massage therapist who has been both my massage therapist and my client. And she was talking about how the governor of Florida has just hasn't done nearly enough, but what he has done is said that any non-essential medical procedure, which includes obviously physical therapy, massage therapy, chiropractic, anything like that on a non-emergency basis is no longer permitted to be done. And so she's not able to offer massage therapy to her clients. So she was trying to come up with other things that she could offer for them in terms of resources. And I reminded her that she also knows my yoga teacher who just recently created a couple of videos, chair yoga and stretching videos that if you can't have massage therapy, the thing you need to do is more stretching. So why don't you go link up and get those videos, because she knows my yoga teacher, but go ahead and share those videos in that page that my yoga teacher has just created as a resource for your massage clients. And now you're helping everybody. So I guess the moral of the story is connect people and also remind people what they already know, because that was to me obvious. And I know that my massage therapist knows my yoga teacher, but they don't talk very often. So I'm sort of